Hello everyone, welcome to the Hold My Spot podcast. I am Matt, as you all know, flying solo again for another great nostalgic concert. Drove 2 hours down to Columbus today to see a band that I saw when they were touring with their first record ever back in 2004. I was a senior in high school, so it was 20 years ago, so you do the math. But tonight I got a chance to see for the second time the great band May. If you guys are not aware of May, they've been around for the last 20 years or so. Had some small label success as well as some big label success. They've been continually putting out music for the last 20 years or so. May stands for multi-sensory aesthetic experience. So that kind of gives you a visual of what to expect when you're listening to their music, and seeing some of their visuals and their videos and their posters, everything. Just a really cool concept type band. So back in 2004, I drove down from Cleveland to Columbus, so just like tonight, with a couple high school friends. I can't remember all the details exactly because as time marches on, my memory gets a little hazier and hazier. But I know for sure my friend Fred was there. I'm pretty sure my friend Andrew was there. But I just can't remember if anybody else or who else went down with us. But that was probably my first ever road trip. I just recently sort of gotten my license. And to go on a 2-hour drive down good old 71 was sort of a big step. Pretty cool to sort of end up at a really cool concert. But it was definitely a very memorable night for me. And then we all rode back that same night. So just like I'm doing tonight. So it's a repeat, seeing the same band play the same music basically 20 years later. So very cool experience. Really glad I got to see them again. They haven't really toured in a while. I want to say the last time they toured was like 2017 or so. But for some reason I never sort of remember them coming up to Cleveland. Always the Columbus area. And it seemed like they have a lot of good experience here in Columbus and a lot of very solid fans. The place was packed out. The show tonight was at the Roomba Cafe. A little bit of a smaller venue, sort of reminded me of the Grog Shop up in Cleveland. Roomba, I don't know. But they probably hold maybe 100, 150 people or so. But cool layout. So right after work tonight, I jetted down to be able to get there right after doors open and staked out a pretty good spot right up front. Because when I saw them in 2004, we showed up a little late, and I remember walking in the door of the bar, and it was like, holy crap, this place is so packed out. We almost didn't even get to see like the stage because we were so far back. But being 17, 18-year-old kids, naturally, we worked our way up, so we got pretty close. But tonight, I was able to get there early, like a responsible corpo punk, and got there early, got a good spot right up front. I'm sorry to all the people behind me. There's nothing I can do. I want to see the show too. I know I'm 6'1"-ish. With shoes, I'm 6'2". I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry. But tonight, actually, my theory did not hold true. So, as a lot of you know, if you've been watching our other episodes, I have this theory that no matter how tall I could be, so 6'2" in shoes, there will always be somebody taller than me right in front of me. Nobody tall around me, to my side, to the front and a little over, never. They're always right smack dab in front of me. So I get how bad it sucks, and I'm sorry. But again, I'm not really sorry, it's just how it goes. Anyway, that aside, so May, they played in its entirety their first album, their breakthrough album, Destination Beautiful. So many great tracks. I mean, I listened to that album like crazy all through high school. Not all through high school, all through senior year of high school, all through college. Really a very memorable, I don't know if emo is really the right, genre, but sort of dovetails into emo. Definitely some emo themes, but I wouldn't call them an emo band, if that makes sense. Sort of have the same aesthetic as like the Postal Service, maybe. No, that's more electronic. Maybe more like just Death Cab. So I would say very thoughtful lyrics. Maybe even sort of like Dashboard Confessional. So very thoughtful lyrics. Not super emo, but very good storytelling. Songs you can listen to on repeat. I mean, anytime I listen to them, I basically just put a full album on, and it goes front to back, which I love. And as you guys know, I've been to several reunion shows and reunion shows where they play full albums recently. So I kicked it off last year seeing Sing Thursday play one of their albums in full. I just saw Census Fail last week playing Life Is Not a Waiting Room. Saw Death Cab and the Postal Service playing their albums, which I'm sporting the t-shirt right now. And now I got to see May. So I'm a sucker for that. I absolutely love it. I think this is a pretty short tour. I don't recall all the dates, but I don't think it's more than maybe a month or two. So if they're coming to your town, definitely go see them. I would highly recommend it. Just seem like also very genuine guys. Like I said, very thoughtful lyrics, so that kind of makes me think they're very genuine people. And it was just fun. I mean, the crowd was crazy, too. Everybody was singing along. You guys know I'm not a lyric person, so I was not singing along, but I wanted to. I just, for whatever reason, just can't get over that hump to, like, sing out loud because I know I've got a really crappy voice. So I don't want to make anybody else have a bad experience. And I also don't know all the lyrics. I could listen to one song on repeat 3,000 times, and I just, well, for whatever reason, the lyrics just don't sink in. I mean, like, I know them, but I don't, like, I can't shout them out at the top of my lungs. So I'm sorry if I was a little stiff. If anybody saw me at the show, it's just how I am. But definitely a great show. So before May, there was a band called Manic. They were from Nashville. Solid. They had some what seemed like radio-ready songs. I want to say it's kind of hard to describe what they were going for. So first of all, before I guess I get into the music, the aesthetic was interesting. The singer, I think his name is Nick, or Nicholas, he came out wearing like a full-blown jacket with a sweater underneath, with gloves and a winter hat. Now, it's 50 degrees in Cleveland, Columbus, Ohio, so it's cold. But man, I gotta think, once he was on stage, he had to get pretty hot pretty quick. And, I mean, he did start peeling some layers off, but even towards the end, he was still wearing a pretty big furry sweater. But anyway, good show, good vocals. Had some sort of screaming aspects, maybe a sort of like accent to the lyrics. Seemed like pretty good lyrics too. I'd like to go back and read through some of the lyrics. But vocals were good, musicians were good, they had good stage presence, everybody was dancing along. The drummer was doing a lot of flips and things like that with his drumsticks, so you could tell he was a good drummer because he could put a little flair out there too, which was cool. I'm trying to remember the song name that stuck out to me, but I'll add it in the comment section once I figure out what the name of the song was. But really liked it. So, if they come through town again, if they're up in Cleveland and they're opening for somebody else, I would definitely be there to see how they progress over the next couple months and year. And it was cool. They said this was their first tour, so first large tour. I'm sure they've got a lot of gigs under their belt, but it's different when you go from gigging around town to now being on the road. So it's cool to see that too. The first opener was Maggie Miles. She is a multi-talented artist. Was really impressed with not only her vocals, but she played the keyboard, she played guitar. They did a cool cover of Everlong, which is not the easiest song, either on drums or guitar. So definitely respect the effort there. I do remember the one song that stuck out to me from them. It was called Skin. They said it was a newer song for them. So check out Skin by them. Seems like it's sort of a radio ready, a little bit more refined sound than some of their other tracks. They did have, I don't know which song it was, but she had this really cool breakdown with the keyboard and a secondary keyboard, which had sort of like a Furman effect. So that was really cool. Definitely appreciated that in the middle of one of the songs. So Maggie, if you're out there and you hear this review, link whatever song that was, because I think everybody would really like it. So overall, great show, great lineup. Really happy I got to go. Brought back some cool high school memories. I love this. I love getting on the road. I mean, right now it's probably 11:30. No, it's midnight, and I got about a 2-hour ride heading back. So it's a good time for me to jam out to some more music and look forward to a couple of my next shows. Speaking of, my next show is actually, I've got a pretty busy lineup coming up. I don't believe it's this week. San Holo. Then I'm going to see the Eagles. Emo Orchestra featuring Hawthorne Heights. And then I go to the main event for me for this year, which is When We Were Young out in Vegas. So there's going to be a lot more reviews of what I see at those shows. So thanks for checking out this episode. If May is coming to your area, definitely go see them also. Tickets were not that expensive, and they're pros up there on stage, so I think you would definitely enjoy it. If you've seen May or any of the other bands, leave some comments, follow. Hope you're getting something out of some of these reviews. Definitely am enjoying doing it too. So anyway, I'll be sure to hold a spot for you at our next show. Take care, guys.